Alright. Many shows have a season 2. And majority of the time they are peak. Shows like The Owl House, Gravity Falls, even Beyblade, have great season 2s. So lots, and I mean lots of people have asked me to do a Beyblade X season 2 review. As you can tell by the title of this video, I think very highly of Beyblade X season 2, to the point where it's damn near perfection. This is the best improvement ever made to a Beyblade anime. Literally all the cons I listed in my past video were fixed in Beyblade X. So enough talking, let's start the video. So, I've already made 2 videos on Beyblade X, one of them regarding season 2, so if you haven't, I highly suggest you watch those 2 videos first, and come back to this one. If you've watched any of my review videos, you already know where I'm gonna start this review. The plot. The new era of Beyblade has begun. New and powerful bays are being made each day. Bays like Lion Crest, Samurai Saber, Dran Brave, and more. Along with these powerful bays are powerful bladers. With a new shift in Beyblade, it's up to Team Persona to not fall behind in this era. Overall a pretty good plot. It sets up a lot of good character and bay introductions. Characters like Tenka. Tenka is our new Persona member. What separates her from the rest of the team is that she's more honest and tough. Especially when it comes to Bird. Which was a great way to add character development to Bird. Part of this personality stems from where she came from. Tenka comes from the Shiriboshi school, an old way of Beyblade that has been mainly hidden from the public until a certain figure has made the style popular for the first time. This figure is not Tenka, but actually her mother Omega and her minions, who are the main antagonists of this season. Omega has a misguided way of the Shiriboshi style, which is why Tenka joins Team Persona. She needs their help in stopping her. Though Tenka isn't the only great Persona member this season. Bird has been a great improvement this season. He goes on a character arc revolving around his confidence, mainly stemming from his lack of wins, and the fact that the opponents this season are much stronger. And I'm glad that this aspect of Bird's character is starting to affect him. Not only does it make the Bladers this season seem more menacing, but it gives Bird more depth. Along with this character arc comes a training arc. Multi creates a new bay for Bird, Hell's Reaper. Though Bird has trouble controlling it at the beginning. So he trains with Maid Miko to better control it, and to grow as a blader in general. This training arc highlights his constant determination. Not only that, but we even get a backstory for why Bird started Beyblading. In fact, this is an occurring thing across the season. We get multiple flashbacks of characters, even full-on episodes that focus on the backstory of characters. Though I think it's time to focus on another Persona member. Everyone's favorite Beta, Multi. After getting annihilated by Tenka twice in a row, Multi temporarily leaves the team to go on a journey to improve her bay crafting skills. She travels to the animal castle, where King's family is from. She meets King's twin sisters, who are incredible bay crafters. There they teach Multi how to improve her skills, and she returns to Persona. Surprisingly, she returned through aura farming, taking a page out of Piccolo's book. With Multi's return we get introduced to the team's new and powerful bays like Dran Brave, Hell's Reaper, Samurai Caliber, and a few more. Don't think that Team Persona are the only good characters this season. The new characters are also great. For example, Kira. Kira is a small woman who claims to be Burn's fiancé, which creates the most hilarious moments in the show. Don't underestimate her though, cause she is actually stronger than Burn. The only reason she claims to be Burn's wife is cause she wants to do a collaboration with Burn's company, which will obviously benefit her. She doesn't actually love Burn. While we are on the subject of Kira, there's 2 things I want to talk about in this season. The first thing is the second tower shown in Beyblade. But wait, isn't there already a tower? The X Tower? Well actually the tower is divided. The first is Slash Tower. This tower focuses more on the audience appeal, and prioritizes flashy moves and popularity, rather than skill. This is the tower our main cast participates in. The second tower is the Solidus Tower. This tower is the opposite, not caring about the audience appeal, and focusing more on winning at any strategy, even if it's unappealing and boring. Which is the tower where Kira is from. Since the Solidus Tower focuses more on winning, the Bladers there are much stronger. In fact the Solidus Tower champions beat our Slash Tower champions. Though Chrome was absent during the match, the accomplishment is still huge. The inclusion of the Solidus Tower helps to add more world building, and leaning into the more technical side of Beyblade X, that I always loved. The second thing I wanted to talk about is the Beyblades this season. In my first video about Beyblade X, I said how the bays were lackluster and kind of boring. mainly because they lacked any gimmicks and just relied on the shape of the bay. Season 2 flips the script. Now near every bay has a unique and interesting gimmick. Stuff like height change, changing modes mid-battle, more customization for bays. They went above and beyond this season. It increases the quality of the anime and real-life battles. Now I think it's time we move on to the more juicy subject of season 2. Chrome. Jesus Christ. I mean, the dude was already a menace since season 1. But he just became worse in season 2. And it lies not only in himself, but also in his bay. Impact Drake. This is literally the forbidden bay of the Beyblade X universe, because look how people react when they hold the bay. Yeah, people legit cannot handle even being near the bay. But of course there is one blader out there that can contain the unrivaled power of Impact Drake, and it's yours truly. Now we haven't seen this bay in much action, besides packing up a bunch of randoms. But considering that it's powerful even when not being launched, I'm sure that it can pack up most of the Beyblades we've seen in the show. Considering that he's moved to the underground, we are going to see a lot more interesting things next season. What is the underground, you ask? Well, I'm glad you asked, cause that leads into my next thing about season 2. The underground is sorta like the black market of the Beyblade universe. They make illegal copies of bays and participate in battles. In fact, they have a tournament scene as well, participating in illegal battles. Like the Solidus Tower, the underground adds more to the world building of Beyblade X. Also, I love how Pacoon just remains a piece of shit. Like bro got kidnapped to help make illegal bays, and he did that shit with a smile on his face. I love how he doesn't really get character development and remains a piece of shit. Though with every season comes a finale. And man, this finale is even better than the last. I would even say this finale is on the same level as some of Beyblade Burst finales. What makes these final battles so much better than the last is that this battle had way more build up to it. Yes, the final battles a season prior did also have a lot of build up. However, this battle was much more developed, with Tenka and Omega's backstory, Bird and his determination to be trans, Kamen and his desire to battle the strongest blader. Each of these factors got me so hyped. And I must say they delivered. But if you've noticed, the clips I've shown have Jackson battling, not Kamen X. For context, Team Zodiac told the X Tower that Kamen X was using an illegal bay, so he couldn't participate in the battle. However, Kamen X can participate, but Jackson can. So Multi pretends to be Kamen, and Jackson participates in the battles. So Jackson is pissed, and never in my life would I think Jackson was gonna be on my menace list. But here we are. With Jackson being pissed, he packs up Miriam pretty badly. Straight aura. The next battle is Bird vs Rance. Bird uses the power of friendship by combining the parts of different bays from Team Persona. This catches Rance off guard, and in the end they tie. Bird's first ever tie in the series. We are slowly leading up into Bad's first win, and when he does, I'm about to throw a worldwide barbecue. We now reach the most anticipated battle of the season, Tenka vs Omega. I'm not gonna lie, Tenka got humbled so badly in this battle. She got a new bay, put it in all her character development in the battle, and gave it her absolute best, and she still got packed up pretty badly. I mean, just look at this shit. This is the power of a divine being, not a mere human. But what's more powerful than a divine being? An aura farmer. So after Tenka realizes that she's not made for this, she sends out the man himself, Jackson. Keeping her promise to Jackson that he can battle the strongest blader. Once the battle starts, Jackson takes a page out of Gojo's book, straight up going insane and getting excited by the battle. But the most intriguing part of this battle is that Jackson gets to go all out. For the first time in Beyblade X, Jackson gets to be serious. He doesn't have to hold anything back. This feeling that Jackson's been searching for his whole life, he's finally found it. The excitement just courses through his veins. But we also have to give credit to Omega for being the first opponent to push Jackson to this level. As you expect, Jackson packs up Omega and the day is saved. However, there is one problem I have with this battle. It's dumb that Jackson can beat Omega with Dran's sword. For context, since Jackson isn't pretending to be Kamen X, he can't use any of his other bays, because it's gonna look suspicious that somehow Jackson has access to the rest of Kamen X's bays. The first problem with this is that it doesn't make sense. Can't Team Persona just say that Jackson is borrowing Cannon's Bay? Chrome asked for Jackson's Bay last season. Why can't Jackson do the same? The next problem is that this makes Jackson way more OP. Like, what's the point of creating his brand new bays when he can beat the literal strongest blader with his first bay? It kinda makes the rest of the bays pointless. But other than that, this finale was great. But no matter how good a season is, it is not without flaws. Well, that's kind of the problem with Beyblade X Season 2. Other than the major flaw I listed earlier, Season 2 doesn't really have any major problems, which just makes this season even more peak. But that wraps up my review of Season 2. Overall a great step for Beyblade X, and a great leap for Beyblade kind. Okay, that was lame. But if you want to add on to what I said, or have a different opinion, let me know in the comments. But that is all I have for today. See you in the next video, and have a great day.